Funding provided by Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialist, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
The Pella Rolscreen Foundation is a proud supporter of Iowa PBS. Pella Windows and Doors strives to better our communities and build a better tomorrow.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fairway.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.
What an incredible week to be in Fort Dodge. State softball and an incredible weather week. Those are the new center field bleachers. A lot of fans have seen some great action from there. They get to see one more game, the 2023 1A championship. It is number 2 North Linn and top-ranked Martensdale-St. Mary's, the Blue Devils, here from Harlan Rogers. We are here. She's Laura Leonard. I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here tonight. Laura, 2 in the books, 1 more to go. This is statewide, around the world. What are they going to see in this last one? Let me guess. Good pitching?
We're going to talk about pitching again because we do have 2 really great pitchers here in the circle for North Linn. It's Ellie Flanagan, and she's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but she is a powerful pitcher. We're going to see how long that knee can hold up here tonight. And then Campbell German, she has been dominating this tournament. She took a perfect game into the 7th inning in the semifinals. Lost that on a base hit to the first hitter. But anyway, otherwise, she has been solid and very tough to hit.
You need to score runs to win a game. All you have to have is 1. And North Linn, in their 5th trip to state, have only scored 3 runs this entire tournament. But they've been led by Ellie Flanagan. She's been looking for a hit here at the tournament, but it's really been about her pitching. Skylar Benish, though, outstanding in her hitting as well. That's for North Linn. For Martensdale-St. Mary's, again, they're back at state. They were at state in basketball. Now here they are in softball. Ellie Baker's been great as a hitter, but you'd mentioned Campbell German, outstanding for this squad.
Yeah, and this team can put up some runs as well. So this is going to be, can these pitchers hold up and keep it to that low-scoring game? Otherwise, we're going to see a bunch of hits and a lot of runs.
For the final time, let's go upstairs to Tim Fitzpatrick for the introductions in tonight's game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and softball fans. Welcome to Rogers Sports Complex in this 1A state championship game between the visiting team, the North Linn Lynx, and the home team, the Martensdale-St. Mary's Blue Devils. Now let's meet the teams. First of all, the non-starters and visitors from North Linn. Number 1, Paisley Carpenter. Number 7, Samantha West. Number 11, Jillian Schulte. Number 16, Lucy Hoggenberry. And number 18, Abby Michael. Your assistant coaches, Taylor Henderson, Hannah Bridgewater, and Riley Jacobson. And now, here's your starting lineup. For the Lynx of North Linn, leading off, playing shortstop, number 8, Skylar Benish. Batting second at second base, number 10, Kenzie Bridgewater. Batting third and doing the pitching, number 13, Ellie Flanagan. Cleanup hitter for the Lynx, doing the catching, number 24, Jersey Payton. Batting fifth at first base, number 28, Kylie Munson. Batting sixth, playing center field, number 17, Peyton McMahon. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 22, Harley Henderson. Batting eighth in left field, number 25, Lily Rayberg. And batting in the ninth position, third baseman, number 21, Allie Christensen. And your flex player in right field, number 20, Ava Hoover. Head coach for the Lynx, Chad Spoor. And now let's meet the team from Martensdale-St. Mary's. Here are your non-starters and assistant coaches. Number 8, Mac German. Number 10, Carson Oberender. Number 14, Olivia Van Gundy. Number 17, Annie Hops. And number 19, Kaylee Finney. Your assistant coach, Kayla Esslinger. And now here's your starting lineup for the Blue Devils of Martensdale-St. Mary's, leading off in shortstop, number 6, Brindley German. Batting second at second base, number 7, Ellie Baker. Batting third, doing the pitching, number 4, Campbell German. Cleanup hitter for the Blue Devils, the designated player, number 18, Abby Hughes. Batting fifth and doing the catching, number 11, Sydney Bears. Batting sixth at third base, number 15, Hadley Pearson. Batting seventh in left field, number 2, Ani Berger. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 5, Marianne Hart. Batting in the ninth position, center fielder, number 3, Emily Hughes. And your flex player at first base, number 13, Ava Oberender. Head coach for the Blue Devils, Emily Wood. Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the home plate area. Our umpires for this contest, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Terry Giuffretti. At third base, Mike Christner. And calling the balls and strikes tonight, Ryan Christner. All right, who's ready to win a state championship?
We get to say for one final time in 2023, it's time to play softball. And what a way to go out. Martensdale-St. Mary's, the home team, which means they'll play defense first. In right, it's Hart, Hughes, and Berger, right to left. Oberender at first, Baker at second, German, Brindley at short, Hadley Pearson at third. Sydney Bears behind the plate, and in the circle is Campbell German. Martensdale-St. Mary's 27-6. They've had a lot of good pitching. Campbell German's a big part of that. Take a look at her record here, Laura. What stands out about Campbell German to you?
Well, I think the strikeouts, the opponent's batting average. I mean, nobody's getting the bat on her, and she's striking out a lot of hitters, and she throws a lot of different things. You're going to see a rise, a change, a curveball, and a screw. And the other night, I'm telling you what, we were sitting right here. That glove was popping. She was throwing it hard, right around probably 65 miles an hour.
She gives the thumbs up, and she hasn't popped it yet. And this is the team that's going to have to try to hit her. The Lynx with Skylar Benish, Mackenzie Bridgewater, Ellie Flanagan, Jersey Payton, Kylie Munson, Peyton McMahon, Harley Henderson, Lily Rayberg, and Allison Christensen. What do they have to do, Laura, as you look at keys to this contest? What stands out for North Linn for you?
Well, they need to score more runs. We've been talking about this since the beginning of the game. They have not been able to generate a lot of runs. They need to do that because they need more than just one run to back up the good pitching and then pull the strings with runners on base. When they get them on, they need to be able to move them around, bunt and run, steal some bases.
And then for Martensdale-St. Mary's.
Work the count. They got to work it in their favor if they can. Get ahead in the count and then play loose. And Coach Wood said to me, we play at our best when we are loose. And if you look in that dugout, they've got cowboy hats on, they've got tiaras on, they've got everything. They're ready to go. And if they play loose and upbeat, they're going to be tough to beat.
7:38 first pitch. 76 gorgeous degrees. The 1-0 misses. Today is July the 21st, 2023. You're watching Class 1A State Championship Softball statewide on television on Iowa PBS for free and also on the internet at iowapbs.org. We are free to all 99 counties across Iowa over the air and anywhere you want to be in the world for free. 2-1, pitch from German. Smacked into center for the game's first hit. Skylar Benish, let's see if that sets things right for North Lynn's hitting.
Well, Skylar Benish, the UNI commit, waited back on that off-speed pitch and took it right into center field.
Benish had to play against her future roommate, Carly Goodwin from Sigourney in the opening round. Foul ball, Bridgewater gets a bat on it and sends it into the screen. Actually, that was more of the padding underneath. It was more of a thud for Kenzie Bridgewater.
She's a little disappointed in herself. She didn't get the bat back quick enough.
She gets the bunt down, fielded by German. Throw to first to Oberander, moves Benish up to second on the sacrifice. And Laura, all that talk about bunting, that might have actually been the first sacrifice of the day, I think.
I think it is. I think it is. I mean, we had seen all week long teams play small ball, put the ball down, and bunt it, and bunt for base hits, and squeeze runners in. And we haven't really seen anything all day until that one right there.
The pitcher Flanagan, Ellie Flanagan, the senior, digs in. Watches that first pitch out. Since her injury against Edco on a rainy night, she has not quite been the same hitting and pitching. She battled back, did not play in the regional final. Hits that one well to right. That has a chance to leap. It's off the top of the wall. And in for a long single, scoring the game's first run is Skylar Benish. 1-0 North Linn. Ellie Flanagan. Huge weight lifted off her shoulders.
Just as you were saying, she's had a little trouble hitting the ball because of that injury. Still rehabbing it, trying to work herself back into shape, but she got all of that one, and it goes
off
the bottom of the fence.
Number 7,
and Benish easily scores.
So the courtesy runner will be Samantha West.
Flanagan thought it was out, and she kind of gave a little fist pump and then realized, oh, it hit the bottom of the fence.
And a swing and a miss by Jersey Payton, who was the hero in the semifinal with a 2-run home run that was the difference in that game. West at first, the courtesy runner for Flanagan. Payton at the plate. Nice pitch. The throw down to second is stopped by Brindley German.
1-1, coach, 1-1.
So Campbell German goes almost a perfect game in the semifinal
1-1.
and gives up 2 hits in the first inning here in the championship game against North Linn. How quickly things can change at the state tournament.
And you go back to the keys that we talked about early on for North Linn, pull the strings with the runners on. They did. They're putting runners in motion. They're going to test the arm of Bears behind the plate.
Good changeup from German. As West is now at second on the stolen base. Good stop. The throw to third, not in time. Actually, it was more about location on that one. It was on the foul side of the bag.
Yeah, the throw was there. It was just on the other side of the bag. And good heads up running by West, though. Got a great jump. That ball's in the dirt, and she was on the move.
And a walk to Jersey Payton.
Time!
Chad Spoor in his 3rd year as head coach, as he sends in a courtesy runner for his catcher.
16, courtesy for the catcher.
You like this? And who he's sending in is Lucy Hoggenberry.
Courtesy runner number 16, Lucy Hoggenberry, running for Payton at first base.
There's a look at Lucy.
I'll expect her to be on the move. They want to put pressure on this defense right away.
The bunt is laid down. Back to German. Fumbles it, throws to first, not in time. The throw to third is in time, and that gets the run. Oberander, great throw across the diamond. So Hagenberry is erased. However, West scores. It's 2-0.
Well, the bunt comes into play, and they do squeeze that run in. And talk about putting some pressure on the defense. They're making them play the ball. They're making them make a play, and German does a good job of fielding that. Couldn't get it home, but goes to first, and then they're able to keep the heads-up play and get the runner out at third.
Comebacker to German off the bat of Peyton McMahon. Blank and 2-run score, so North Linn has to feel good about that first half of the inning as they push 2 across.
It's the first inning. We can score 2 runs. Take it. Got time.
Emily Wood there, her microphone. We will attend to and get that because we want to be able to hear what she has to say. Wood, in her second year of varsity coaching, she coached a year in high school and a year in junior high. She's got a great team, and this is the North Linn defense with Rayberg, McMahon, and Hoover in the outfield. Christensen, Benish, Bridgewater, and Flanagan on the Munson on the infield, with Jersey Payton behind the plate and Ellie Flanagan in the circle for North Linn, who lead 2-0. There's a look at Ellie Flanagan and her pitching record of 24-3. Opponents are only batting .144 and an ERA of 1.47. Laura, what stands out about her to you?
Well, again, the strikeouts, and we talked to her about what's her best pitch, what'd she throw? And she goes, hey, it's a secret. I've got 4 pitches, and I'll throw them all. And we just have to figure out what they are. We saw a really good changeup out of her the other night.
Really good is an understatement. Here's the batting lineup for Martensdale-St. Mary's. Brindley German, Ellie Baker, Campbell German, Abigail Hughes, Sydney Bears, Hadley Pearson, Ani Berger, Marianne Hart, and Emily Hughes. For the Blue Devils, 2-0 Lynx. Flanagan's first pitch is fouled back behind. Jersey Payton chases that down. She'll throw it back into play. Brindley German, the younger sister of the twins, by 5 whole minutes. Don't think Campbell's let Brindley forget that. The 0-1. There's that changeup, but not quite as effective as it was against Clarksville the other night. And I said, so was that a changeup? And Ellie goes, it was a pitch.
She was playing it very close to the vest.
Comes back in on the hands. Gets Brindley to ground out. Pearson fields over, Christensen fields over to Munson, and there's one away. So one of the super sophomores, Ellie Baker, will come in from the left side. 452 average, 104 at-bats, 12 stolen bases, 47 hits, all leaders for the Blue Devils. That first pitch is out of the zone.
And this Martensdale-St. Mary's team, very young, but they have the experience of being here in the state tournament atmosphere from last year.
The 1-0 coming from Flanagan. Lifted, and is going to just get out of play by about 3 feet. Look out, Kent.
There you go, pitch. Let's see that one. Pitcher, pitcher, pitcher. Let's see that one.
Ryan Christner wants to see the ball, make sure it's not dinged up. He's going to keep it in his pocket, so the ball is good.
1-1.
Jersey Payton looks into the dugout for the pitch to call. Her first year of varsity catching. Last year, she was a JV second baseman. Talk about a transition.
Yeah, that's a big transition. You got to work a lot in the off season. Defense is adjusted for the left-handed hitter. Bridgewater adjusted in. And you can see Munson playing back.
Baker with the 1-out walk. Is it vital that Martensdale-St. Mary's gets a run here in this first?
I think it would. I don't know if it's vital. I think it would be helpful for them mentally to get one of those runs back. And if you can put some runners on base and then at least make a little noise, I think that helps calm the nerves as well.
As Campbell German digs in.
I mean, it's early, and you heard Coach Wood say it's early in the game. We're going to be able to score, is what she told them. And so just having that confidence when you go to the plate, if you can make a little noise on the base pass and at the plate, I think that's going to help you.
So Martensdale already kind of had a couple of things reversed in that first inning as Campbell German skies it right behind short and into left, and catch is made there by Lily Rayberg.
Good communication out there defensively. Rayberg coming in, charging, calling off Benish, and takes control.
Martensdale had not given up a run in the month of July prior to about 10 minutes ago. They lost 9-0 and 1-0 to Johnston on June 29th. The last loss they had to a 1A team was May 25th, when they lost to conference rival Wayne. So when something like that gets reversed, Laura, how quickly does that set in to the back of your head?
You know, I think you get comfortable with the fact that they went 5 postseason games without giving up a run. And so you just kind of think that's the norm when you step into a ball game, but you give up those 2 early on, then you kind of have to hit the reset button and go, okay, yeah, we're still playing softball. We know we have to score runs, and we can't just rely on the fact that our defense and our pitcher is going to shut down our opponent. We've got to go up and make some noise and hit some balls hard and knock runners in.
Abby Hughes at the plate now, sophomore. There's a look at Coach Wood, trying to help this team along. Pitch to Hughes is off the plate. Wayne, who was a semifinalist, won in the third place game over Clarksville 7-2. Over on the other diamond, we'll take a look at the brackets in a little bit, show you how these 2 teams got here. We'll also look at the pitchers in super slow-mo. Coaches are mic'd up. We're mic'd up.
Umpires are mic'd up.
We've listened in on a couple of those conversations. Hughes works the count full, 3-2. Called third strike. And the Blue Devils leave a runner.
A little bit, even more hittable than
Martensdale-St. Mary's 0.
Got the outside part of the plate, got rung up.
So now German goes back to work there in the circle, only a junior. I think college is still one of those options for her in the sense of what she wants to do. Here's how the pairings all shook out. Martensdale-St. Mary's opened the win over hometown Fort Dodge St. Ed's. And then Wayne beat Remsen St. Mary's before Martensdale-St. Mary's won that semifinal. North Linn, they needed 8 innings to squeak past Sigourney. And then Southeast Warren and Clarksville, that was the Indians who won that game. And then North Linn and Clarksville, that was a close 2-1 contest in the semifinals, which is how we ended up here.
Well, you talked about Campbell German and college in the future, and when we talked to her the other night, late night, that she said, yeah, there's a couple of schools that I'm looking at. I don't want to really say quite yet. I want to be fully comfortable with my choice and my decision before I make any kind of an announcement. And so didn't reveal anything, but she certainly, I said, well, you want to go on and play, right? And she said, oh, absolutely. She does want to continue on and play softball. And I think she's got a bright future.
2-0 pitch is hit down the third base line and fouled by about 18 inches. And why do you say that? Is it location? Is it speed? Is it?
I think her mechanics are good. I know she knows how to locate the ball, got good spin, got good velocity, really good velocity. And I think as she continues to grow and get stronger, and good off-speed pitch like that, and she's going to get stronger and build a little more muscle. She's just gonna develop in ways and going to refine some of her pitches.
Harley Henderson strikes out. That'll bring in Lily Rayberg. Fouled back behind. Rayberg, another one of those 8th graders playing today. Versus Clarksville, she was she was the only Lynx to have 2 hits. She hits it just past German, who dives to her left, to her knees. Throws on to Oberender to get the out.
That might be another reason why I think she has a bright future. She's very athletic, and she can field that position very well. Good, quick reactions, and makes a strong throw.
So the number 9 hitter, Allie Christensen, to bat. A senior in this lineup. First pitch is a ball. Another transfer. She came into North Linn at this school year. She played soccer on a combined school team. Defender her whole life, but she hits it well to center. But on the run to her left is Emily Hughes. And just like that, the Lynx go 1, 2, 3. Good inning for North Linn. We'll take a break to remember a friend.
And that's going to put Lisa Brinkmeyer to the free throw line. She's a 70% free throw shooter. Averages 41 points a ball game.
Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Administrator Lisa Brinkmeyer lost her battle with brain cancer in June, a battle she had been fighting for more than a year. In high school, the Hubbard-Radcliffe grad excelled in volleyball, golf, and softball. But it was basketball where she is remembered most for winning the final 6-on-6 state championship in 1993.
85-66, the final score. Hubbard-Radcliffe, your 6-on-6 champion.
Lisa knew firsthand what it meant to be an Iowa girl.
Whether you played a lot or didn't play a lot, you were still an Iowa girl. You still knew what it was like to be involved in athletics. And as I grew older and made it to state, the state basketball tournament, I realized a lot more what the Iowa girl was. I mean, with the exception of my wedding, that was one of the first times I felt like a princess, one of the few times in my life. And that is because the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union does that. And Ewain Cooley, he put the Iowa girl on the pedestal. And I thought I realized how important it was and unique it was until I went to college and I played basketball with a lot of players from around the country, different states. And I would talk about my experience and they would just kind of look at me funny like I was crazy because they weren't treated the same way. Of course, it was always neat to make it to state wherever you go, but it was just different. They weren't, celebrities because of what they'd done. They were just another basketball player. Where in Iowa, an Iowa girl stands out, and they made sure that.
Brink, as she was known, went on to play and coach at Drake University and eventually landed her position at the IGHSAU. Lisa's contributions to girls sports in Iowa, both on and off the court, is what made her the embodiment of the Iowa girl.
The pitch from Ellie Flanagan to Sydney Bears is a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back here to live action. And that one is high. We've watched that thing twice now. Watched it last night. And it's still, you know, I think of a new memory with her, and I'm sure you do, Laura. You've known her a long, long time. You had good bond with her as you both were. You have that Drake blood going through your veins, and Bear strikes out number 1. The Drake community, you know, college, we talk about athletes and their connections. When you're a teammate, you are a teammate for life. You actually didn't play on the same team as her, but you might as well have as closely connected as the two of you were.
You know, the thing that Brink did, whether you played in my era, which we'll call it, or her era, she connected with everybody from the first basketball players that started that program at Drake to the players that are there right now. And she knew each and every one that always would come back and for alumni functions or on the team. Everybody knew her and she knew everybody. And she wanted everybody to be included in everything that we did at Drake. And she wanted everybody to have just as much fun as she was having, whatever we did. And she was a big part of it. She was the connector for all of us. And yeah, I didn't play with her, but we certainly were teammates. I mean, all of us that are Drake basketball players now and alumni feel like Brink is our teammate.
Hadley Pearson at the bat now with a ball and 2 strikes. And in her role then at the Union, it was connecting teams. You know, she would MC as that ball is put into play over at short. Benish across to Munson to record the out. 2 away here in the second. I remember when Gene Berger came along, one of the things that Gene wanted to do was kind of do some more behind the scenes with the teams, and it was Lisa who did those coach interviews where they would walk down and do the quick back and forth with the coach and let's go Bears, you know, and she would lead them up, and then she would do some of those champion interviews and kind of the liaison between our crew and the Union, and that was important. And I remember that 6-on-6 game. I was there that night, popped up on the infield. Calling for it is Munson, a foot inside of fair territory to make the catch. We all knew Lisa. We all know the score, 2-0 here. North Linn.
Line up where we started the last time. Let's go. Let's go.
So we mentioned the ability to pitch is important. We're going to get a chance now here as part of our coverage has been to see players, and that's Campbell German. We're going to see her in super slow-mo and break her down a little bit here for us, Laura.
Oh, we talked about her mechanics and how she gets that good push off of the rubber, stays right. She's really good and centered and has a lot of good action on her pitches. And she's got that good arm rotation, arm whip that she can bring it. We talked about it, and I asked Coach Wood, I said, how fast she's throwing? She goes, I've never clocked her, but I think she gets, at times, can get around mid-60s.
A little bit of pop, and you hear it in the glove on the occasional fastball from some of these pitchers that we've seen here this week. And it's going to be top of the order for North Linn. Skylar Benish led off the game with a single and eventually scored the game's first run, and she'll lead things off as we look at the Lynx. The Sharks are out.
Got sunglasses and leis and little sombreros in there. They've got all kinds of things going on.
And one thing about the team is that I think we've talked about it a couple of times, the 0-1 coming, is that you have to remember they're players, but they're people, and they have outside lives. I asked Coach, you know, Coach Spohr might only be 3 years of varsity coaching, but he coached a lot of youth. And I says, what's changed in your coaching philosophy, ball high? And he says, I've had to learn to be more tolerant and understanding that maybe some of my teammates, my team, softball's not their love, but I want them to be a part of this team. We need them. Well hit by Benish to center. That thing is out of the ballpark. Almost over the center field bleachers. Benish torches it for a home run.
Boy, talk about timing and bat speed. She was able to level that one, get it out in front, and just drove it to straight center field. You can see how far this one gets out of here, almost to the top row of those bleachers in straightaway center.
Easy, Skylar. You almost hit one of our cameras out there. Slapped foul, Kenzie Bridgewater. You know, Benish is one of those that's going to play in college. And so, yeah, softball is important to her. But maybe there's somebody who shows cattle and wanted to go to the fair. And that's their passion, their life passion. So Coach says we just have to work as Kenzie Bridgewater punches it to Ani Berger for the first out of the third.
Ani Berger with the catch, out number 1.
And now Ellie Flanagan. Who, if you're like Flanagan, North Linn, where have I heard that name before? You remember, can you name all the Flanagans?
Oh gosh, no, I can't. You can.
There's 4 of them.
You've got your cheat sheet over there.
I can always remember Abby. It's Grace's name that I can always, that's the one that always never popped into my head. But Abby and Grace were the battery. And Ellie was on that team as a younger player on the 21 team. Change up is there. And there is a younger one. Not 100% sure. They were still looking for the parents. They're still looking for the Benish family as Jean goes to deliver that ball. And she makes the delivery. Proud parent there. Won't be the last softball game he's at. They still, I mean, Skylar's only a junior, and then all the college games.
Right.
At UNI, how about that season for UNI this year?
Telling you what, Coach Jacobs up at Northern Iowa has it, he's got it rolling up there. He's done a good job of recruiting the state of Iowa. A lot of his players are from border to border in the state of Iowa, and they have had a really good season. Stumbled in the conference tournament, so didn't get the opportunity to move on and play in the regionals. But he certainly has a good group of players coming back for next season, and I wouldn't doubt that they will be picked number 1 to win the Missouri Valley Conference.
What number was it, 7? 7, correct?
We're going to see Sam West come in and courtesy run for Ellie Flanagan, who drew the 1-out walk.
7, courtesy.
When you have a college team in Iowa play well, does that help high school? Does that translate into the high school level?
You know, I think it does, and I think a lot of girls like to. There are a lot of girls that like to stick close to home or be in a radius where their parents and family can come watch them play. And we've got multiple good college programs here in the state of Iowa, not only the Big Four with Drake and Northern Iowa and Iowa State. You've got a lot of smaller Division III, Division II colleges, NAIA. We've got a lot of good next level softball. And so I think if girls see that, an opportunity to go on and play, get an education, yeah, why don't I go out for softball in high school? I'm pretty good at it, and maybe I can work my way into a scholarship and further my education.
Change up is fouled back by Jersey Payton, the junior catcher, who walked back in the first. And it just helps raise the profile of outside the state. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see him play on a bigger stage.
Well, we all have followed players that have come through the ranks here, not only at the high school level, but here at the state tournament, knowing that they're going to go on. Brooke Wilmus playing at Missouri, and we've seen a lot of others that Amber Pfizer that went on and played. And so we all follow those careers because we've seen them come up from 8th grade, freshman year, to grow into that really great softball player and go on and play at the next level. And it's fun for all of us here in the state of Iowa to go, yeah, she's an Iowa girl. We can follow that career and be very proud of what she's done.
And we're not talking about a random school. We're talking Florida, Minnesota, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Paige Lowry.
You know.
Kendall Lindemann. I mean, you can keep naming them.
Yep. Yeah, and Missouri, Illinois, Virginia. As the count goes full here on Jersey Peyton. This North Linn team has a different swagger about them tonight than they had the other night against Clarksville. That is for certain. And right now, Jersey Peyton draws a 1-out walk. So Sam West, who has stolen her third base there as the courtesy runner. We're going to have another courtesy runner, Lucy Hoggenberry, coming back.
You can do this. Let's go.
Telling Kylie Munson to lay off anything up. So lay off the rise ball. Is that what they're trying to say with that?
Yeah, you just want to get it down, get it into your zone. Drive it. Knock in a couple more runs.
West is at second, Hoggenberry at first. At the plate is Munson, and everybody's going to move up a base on the wild pitch.
Time.
Campbell German and Sydney Bears have a discussion halfway between the circle and the plate.
I think they just want to make sure they're on the right and same wavelength, knowing that they have a runner down there at third, maybe no more pitches down.
That last one ruled a passed ball upstairs in the official scoring, so make your change there if you like. There's a look at Ellie Flanagan. She's like, hey, I like 3. Can we get 4 and 5? Ground ball over to short. They come home at the plate. The tag not in time. And now you have a first-third situation as Munson hits the fielder's choice. German came home. And Emily Wood's going to make a trip to the circle.
That's a right play. You come home with it. The throw is there.
Just missed the tag.
Just that she got down, got that hand in the plate. The tag just came a little too high and late.
We got one down. Oh, we need to get 2 more. Okay, what do you guys
Then we can go hit.
What are we doing? I was gonna go home. I was gonna say either nothing special or gold. Yeah. Want to do nothing special? Nothing special. Nothing special if it doesn't. Yep. Wait, honestly, nothing special. That's what you're to me. Yeah. No, nothing special. Yes, nothing special. Okay. Yeah. Third. Blues. Okay. Got it. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
You know, they could have just been doing that for our benefit, throwing off the name, because we don't really know which play they just called.
He called nothing special.
I think that's what they're running. Coach Wood, if you're watching, like I said, it's just to listen in on the circle. We're not giving away things while you have conversations in the dugout. Throw down to the pitcher as got runners at second and third. Bunt is popped up by Peyton McMahon, but just out of the reach of Bears. We're in the third, 4-0 North Linn. They scored twice in the first. They've scored 2 here in this third. They're the visiting team out of the Tri-Rivers Conference, the northern side of Linn County, hence North Linn. 1-1, punched right over the head of the shortstop German and barely even went to the dirt, but with the infield in, trying to get that ground ball, a perfectly hit ball by McMahon to drive in another run.
Well, that's the disadvantage of having the infield drawn in. Just enough of the barrel of the bat on it. You're playing regular depth.
Yep.
Goes right in your glove for an out.
They throw down to third, and back is Munson. McMahon goes down to second on the play. So Martensdale-St. Mary's not conceding, but still making a play here. 5-0. That pitch is fouled back into the net. Martensdale-St. Mary's, heck of a schedule this year. Played Johnston for a doubleheader, Dowling Catholic for a doubleheader, Carlisle, I-35. Then you have conference games with state tournament appearance Wayne and Southeast Warren. Emily Wood absolutely beefed up this schedule, and that's the reason, one of the reasons they're playing here tonight in this last game.
Well, and you're in a area where you have access to play some of those bigger schools in the Des Moines area. You can go up and play Johnston and Waukee and Dowling Catholic, so you have that opportunity, those teams that are close by, and why not challenge your team? Great off-speed pitch.
Harley Henderson is down on strikes. And, you know, that Johnston drive, we're talking 35 minutes, Dowling 30 minutes. Martensdale-St. Mary's just south of Norwalk on the south side of Des Moines. It is the two communities of Martensdale and St. Mary's. Great atmosphere there at Martensdale for softball. Everybody bring a lawn chair. Sit around the outside field fence. First pitch strike to Lily Rayberg. A lot of big softball fans down there. A lot of people.
Yeah.
It was fun listening to everybody talk during that game with Collins Maxwell.
You know, and that's...
Hit on the hands, German over to Oberander to end the threat. Not before North Linn, though, is able to push 3 more across the board. And now it gets to be a little tougher climb, but you got to do it one at a time.
Relax up there. Make it go strike first. Okay? Picky. Leave the high ones. Leave the high ones. Big Daddy Daddy's on 3. 1, 2, 3. Big Daddy Daddy.
Look, it's somebody with a pink fuzzy hat and an orange fuzzy hat and the pink bows.
Well, a little nod to the pink of the girls' union that we've talked about, but those hats, they all made those on Monday. They all got together and had a little team dinner and thought, well, why not? Why don't we do something like this? We decorate our hats, our cowboy hats. Everybody did something a little bit different, and except for Hadley Pearson.
Yeah.
She didn't get the memo. She's wearing a tiara.
Yeah.
So she...
Look at all those hats.
Yeah. So everybody, you can see them in the dugout. Everybody's done a little something to decorate their cowboy hat and kind of as a rally cap.
Let's get a look at Ellie Flanagan here before she gets back into the circle real quick.
You see, again, that she really gets off that rubber. And there you can see that was the changeup. There was the changeup. And then putting the spin on it.
You like a good hat, Laura?
Well, you know, has to fit me just right.
Particular. Marianne Hart to bat. The sophomore playing right field. The 1-0. It's punched to the right side. Mackenzie Bridgewater, who seemed to make every single play the other night against Clarksville, collects. Now there's an interesting person to have a conversation with. Kenzie Bridgewater, everyone. She is a TikTok girl with Sam West. The two of them have been working on a dance for the last few days, trying to get it right. And I was like, I don't know, as that ball is bunted foul. I didn't know the name, I didn't know the dance on TikTok. So I looked it up and I went, and I saw her the next game after. She told me after the quarterfinal, that's the dance. So I saw her after the semifinal, and I said, that's a hard one to learn. She goes, I know, right? And she was very proud that, you know, that she was working hard on it. But here's the thing, Laura. As I've learned, the teenage kids, there's a spam account or a burner account that they share, like TikTok things just privately amongst each other. Like, okay, I'm not ready to show the world this, but I want to show you it. So here's my fake account, and check it out. And that's what, sorry, Kenzie, I'm outing you here. But I know that they all do it. She goes, everybody on the team has a fake account. Those that have TikTok. The 2-1 pitch from Flanagan. Swung on and missed.
I have to say, I'm so glad. I just came into Instagram, so I'm so way behind everything, and I'm just glad I'm not a TikToker.
And officially, TikTok is banned by the state of Iowa, by the governor. So, you know, we don't have a TikTok account, so this isn't going to show up on TikTok. But, you know, here we go. Strike 3 to Hughes, 2 away. I'm going to get out of this and go back to Instagram. All right, 2 away here, top of the order, Brindley German. Now, second time through on Flanagan. What are they going to look for? They were told lay off the high ones. It's easier said than done. But you need a good at bat here from German.
Yeah, you got to have that good plate discipline and lay out. So she did. That was up a little in the zone. Didn't go after it. Wasn't too aggressive. Make Flanagan bring it down in the zone a little bit. And that's one of the things that Coach Wood said is, like, the more experienced this team is, they've become better at the plate as far as patience and discipline. And they need to put that into practice here over the rest of this ball game.
Night sky setting up for a beautiful sunset again as we have some clouds there to our west, but otherwise we've just had a beautiful evening. The 1-1 is high. As I kind of look around, you can see there's no more sun directly on the diamond. Pretty much under the full lights. There you get a chance to see that clear skies. And fans and lawn chairs 200 feet away from the action. The 2-1. Heads up high. Brindley German. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Brindley more of the basketball fanatic than the softball, and Sister Campbell the softball fanatic.
Gets it in the air to Hoover, who pulls it in. For the inning's third out. You're watching state softball for free here on Iowa PBS. Stay with us.
The Iowa State Fair is the biggest thing in Iowa.
Explore the history of Iowa's grand tradition.
60,000 Iowans can't be wrong.
From its earliest days to the statewide celebration of today.
People have put their heart and soul to make it the best state fair in the country.
On top of all that, it's just fun. It really is.
Join us for our great state fair.
Coming to Iowa PBS August 1st and 2nd.
I never expected Ragbri to be such a community. Ragbri, here we go.
We don't leave the ride the same way as we began it.
It's so fun to just have a whole week off, you know, from your life and just get to ride a bike.
Tuesday evening at 7 on Iowa PBS.
5-4-0 for North Linn. Nothing but zeros for Martensdale-St. Mary's. They're still looking for their first hit. As we go to the top of the fourth, North Linn will send. Allie Christensen, Skylar Benish, and Kenzie Bridgewater. It's 9-1-2. Christensen in her last at-bat. Flew out to center. German spins it in there, and it's fouled back into the net.
German doing a good job of getting ahead in the count, and kind of at a point in time in this ball game, you kind of have to just put the pressure on these hitters. Come after them. Throw your best pitches. Get them out, 3 out, or 3 up, 3 down, and get back to the plate. You guys got to find a way to manufacture some runs. Got to get to Flanagan. Got to be aggressive, but stay off those high pitches. But first, you got to get out of this inning.
Well, that pitch is skied, and it is right near the camera well, and that was a great defensive play. Brindley German.
That takes some concentration to be able to run that far, keep your eye on that ball that is high in the sky. Took a peek to see where photographers were, where the camera people were, able to slide underneath it. That's a really nice athletic play.
Which one is harder to play at, Wells Fargo Arena or the state softball tournament, Brindley? Oh, I don't know. I got nervous at them both. You know, she was kind of like, it's similar, but boy, in basketball, you got spotlights, you're the main floor. Oh my goodness. Benish crushes another one over the wall. No doubt about that one. Benish goes back-to-back on home runs.
Well, she has certainly seen the ball very well coming out of the hand of Campbell German. And she is on. And the timing is perfect. As you can see, Hughes go back to the fence. And it sails over a glove and over the fence for her second home run of the ball game. And both of those swings were textbook. I mean, it was just level off the bat, drive the ball.
So she leads the state in all classes in runs. She leads 1A in stolen bases, but the problem is Benish isn't even on base to steal them right now. She doesn't stop at any of them.
She's not. She's touching them all, but she's not stopping. You know, she's the all-time home run leader at North Linn and just adding to that total.
Leads 1A this year. Volleyball, basketball, track. Made a heck of a great defensive play against Sigourney to keep that game close. North Linn 6, Martensdale-St. Mary's 0. Swing and fouled off by Kenzie Bridgewater. Two in the first, 3 in the third, 1 so far here in the fourth for North Linn, who have now doubled their entire tournament output in one game.
Well, when we talked to Coach Spoor and we said, okay, what do you really need to do to win the championship? The first thing out of his mouth, score more runs. And they have done that. He said, yeah, it's great. We're getting 1 and 2 and not giving up any. We've got to have more than that in the championship game, and they have put up big numbers here so far.
Pulled to the right side, over, ooh. Oberender there just about ran out of time to get the speedy Bridgewater.
It's a little bobble. Oberender able to pick it and get her foot over there quickly as Bridgewater's hustling down that line.
Flanagan looks at a first pitch strike. Flanagan's been on 2 all-tournament teams for softball. Likely on the all-tournament team for a 3rd time. She'd like another pink shirt. She'd also like another hit. Singled back in the first, walked in the third. Bats here in the fourth with 2 outs. A lot of her hits go to right.
She's one of those leaders on this team that helps embrace the younger players, works them in and gets them into all the groups and everything and makes them feel comfortable so they don't have to worry about what the upper class or what the seniors are thinking about them. Kind of gets rid of all that drama right away, and that one got fooled on a pitch and strikes out.
3rd strikeout of the game for Campbell German, and that ends the Lynx 4th. But another run scored on a giant home run by Skylar Benish. Coach Chad Spoor joins us now Coach, you doubled your offensive output of the whole tournament. How'd you do that? Is it all because of the practice at Webster City?
I think that seems like more than double. Well, no, that is about right. You got that. Yeah.
Math's not my strength, Coach. I'll tell you that.
No, yeah, I should. I'm a math teacher. I should know that. We got some extra attention to a couple kids that needed it, and it was pretty easy going. Right, it was a short practice for us, but it was good to see what the things we did wrong. We could see on tape. It's right on YouTube, and take a look and learn a little bit from it.
Ellie in the circle looks to be in control of a lot of pitches. How's that? How do you see it?
She's a big game pitcher. There's no doubt about it. When she gets to these games, there's really not many nerves, and she's just ready to throw.
You have nerves right now?
Do I have nerves?
Yeah.
They're better than they were at the start of the game.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thanks.
It's head coach Chad Spohr. 6-0, North Linn leads as we go to the bottom of the fourth for Martensdale-St. Mary's. It's 2-3-4. Baker, German, and Hughes. What'd you hear from Coach?
Well, I think he's exactly right, that she's a big game pitcher. And she is not really laboring, struggling at all. She looks very confident in the way she's throwing and locating her pitches.
First pitch to Ellie Baker is a ball.
And that knee, she's got a little Velcro brace on it. And she's been getting some physical therapy for it, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her tonight. And she doesn't seem to be looking at it, playing with that brace as much as she did in the semifinals. So I don't think there's much restriction, because I don't think she's feeling it. I think she's got that adrenaline going, and she's throwing hard and not worrying about that knee.
Baker swings and misses, and it's a 1-2 count. Takes a big breath. You see that just as the camera cuts her, you could see her. It's all about breathing here. The 1-2. And Baker lays off the high pitch, kind of what Coach Wood was talking about. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Big game pitchers, big game players, sometimes when those spotlights get on, you get great, you grow.
Take it to another level.
Is there any way to, you can't coach it, right?
No, that you can't coach. That, I think that's just all inner motivation and just taking in the moment and knowing that you have to be there for your team and do what you can do. And it's a team sport, and it's not just an individual thing. I need to hit this home run for me. I need to hit this home run for my team so we can win this championship. And I think that's just an inner drive of a lot of players that step up in those big game situations.
When the lights come on, you get going. 3-2 to Baker. Back up towards Bridgewater, who gloves it and throws across. Another great defensive play by Kenzie.
When they had her positioned in the perfect spot, they had brought her in from that second base position where she's almost even with Flanagan, which really makes it tough on Baker to try to punch that through the infield.
That'll lead to Campbell German in the pitching circle tonight. A little frustration, one would imagine, when you've given up 6 runs. German trying to break the no-hitter. I guess we can't, we're in the fourth. It's still a little early to call it that, but German says the biggest change in her game has been her composure. Trying to set a tone for the others, chops it foul. Another one of those very similar, actually, German and Flanagan are very similar in a lot of their mindsets. Both believe in the flush it mantra. Be a goldfish, forget it, move on.
Yeah, they said that on those cowboy hats that they decorated the other night, on it was a lot of them just said, wrote in there, who cares, get over it. So if you make an error, who cares, get over it. Let's move on to the next play. If you, you know, strike out, who cares, get over it. And so you just have to move on to the next play. Don't let it linger, and I think that's a great mindset to have.
The 1-2 coming to Campbell German. Hit towards Bridgewater, hits a bump, but somehow Bridgewater, doesn't matter, she grabs it and retires Campbell German for the second out. And that'll bring in Abby Hughes. Leads the team in walks. Even though she's considered a hard hitter. Great RBI. And yeah, I mean, when you usually have German, Baker, and German ahead of you, you're going to knock some runs in.
Yeah, you're in that cleanup spot for a reason, because you can drive the ball. And a lot of times she will have one or two of those players on in front of her, and she has been able to come through and knock them in.
The 1-0 inside. 2-0. Flanagan looks in, gets the sign, winds and fires. Perfect pitch. You can see that logo.
Yeah.
Like you've seen a couple of times.
Yeah, you can see it as it comes in, it's spinning. And you just have to really focus in on that release point as a hitter. It's coming from that hip spot.
Bridgewater again. Is she going to make all three plays? Yep. Yes, she is. All ground outs to Kenzie Bridgewater to end the Martensdale-St. Mary's fourth inning. We've played 4 innings, 6-0. North Linn Lynx in control. Coach Wood from Martensdale-St. Mary's is in it. Coach, we've heard you a couple of times. We're not out of this, one at a time. What are you saying right now?
We're still trying to keep in our same approach, is focus on the one pitch at a time. You know, we have to score to win anyway, so it's nothing that we can't do and we haven't done before.
Campbell's, you know, she's battling the scoreboard right now, but what do you see in her in the circle that she's doing well?
She's really staying focused and making pitches. You know, she gave up a couple good hits, but she comes right back at the next batter.
I didn't ask. I see everybody else has hats. What was your hat special? Did you make one?
They did make me one. It was a kind of a straw hat with some flowers on it.
Is it here at the ballpark?
No, it's not at the ballpark today.
Okay. All right. Well, have fun wearing it. I appreciate the time, Coach.
Thank you.
Emily Wood, head coach for Martensdale-St. Mary's. Thank you so very much. She's a school counselor there, and she knows the importance of good relationships with players and someone who can relate from Missouri. They're in that area. You know, Martensdale-St. Mary's is just great sports town. Baseball's been good. Other football, wrestling, girls sports. Basketball was at the state tournament this year. You know, this team played Audie Crooks and the Algona Bishop Garrigan. So, I mean, they've played on big stage and big opportunities. They have another chance right here. Laura, how do they get back in this game?
Well, I think it starts right now with just getting a 1-2-3 inning, making some good pitches, getting the good defense. But you've got to get out of this inning without giving up any runs, and then don't have a lot of time left, but you got to start getting some hits.
Cue ball shot from Peyton to Oberander, and that's a good start right there. Not a squared hit by Peyton, who normally smacks that ball hard.
Just a cue ball shot off the end of the bat that initially looked like it was going to roll foul, but it had that funny spin on it and stayed fair.
Oberander fielded, stepped on the bag for the first out of the fifth inning. Swing and miss by Kylie Munson. And another strike from German. A lot of young, you know, the thing about the 1A, for sure 1A, 2A, is the amount of community that will attend a game. Strikeout on 3 pitches, Kylie Munson is down. And that is the 4th strikeout of the game for German. That'll bring in Peyton McMahon. after the regional final game, there were no less than 8 young girls between the ages of 7 and 10. We'll say 5 and 8 that were around Campbell German. And she knows that those girls are looking up to her. They know they want to be her on the diamond. How do you embrace that as a player? I mean, not every player wants to do that or play that role.
You know, you're right. I mean, that's not everybody's mindset. And I think you just have to have the right personality. And I think she understands that she has come up through the ranks and has kind of built a name for herself, and all these younger players kind of look up to her. And she is one that has embraced that role of being a role model and takes it on and is happy to do that, to have the younger kids want to be around her, want to be like her, and she knows that they're watching, and so she knows that she has to set a good example. And you're right, not everybody wants to be that person, but she does, and it's in a small town, small community, it's kind of a nice thing that you have somebody like that the younger players can look up to.
McMahon hits it into right for the base hit, which will make way for Harley Henderson, who has struck out in her first 2 plate appearances in this contest. Just like when we saw the 1993 state basketball, you know that a lot of those championship games, Jason Esslinger has put on YouTube, and you can watch a lot of those old games. I want to thank Jason and the rest of the Union staff this week for all their help and stats and relationships and questionnaires with coaches and informing them of what we were trying to do. And it takes an army, and I always think every year I'm going to thank Jason Esslinger, and I forget to do it. So Jason, this is my thank you to you. I know I'm behind for several years here, but thank you for all that you do.
I'll tell you, I worked with Jason at Drake when he was sports information director at Drake, and he is the best. I'll tell you, he's done a lot of hard work to help us out over the years.
Swing and a miss. Harley Henderson is the 5th strikeout victim for Campbell German.
Show your fight.
Take me out to the ball game. Everybody standing. Everybody
show them your fight. We're going to show you how to sing now, as
take it away.
What has become almost a tradition here. As we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
If that's not a moment right there that you just captured. Great work by our crew. Andrea Coyle on director tonight, helping us out, all of our great camera operators. Some have been with us in our 10 years of covering sports, and glad to see them each and every night when we do this coverage, whether it's basketball or softball or volleyball or soccer. All of our coverage live statewide on television and free wherever you may be around the world. First pitch now for Sydney Bears. Hadley Pearson and Ani Berger due up. Middle of the order, Martensdale-St. Mary's. Clock starting to tick here. Need to get some base runners. They had a walk to Baker back in the first. Otherwise, Flanagan has been perfect. Not in the softball, baseball sense, but you get what I'm saying. Fouled away by Bears.
You know, Bears is another one of the young catchers that she is calling the game. She's calling the pitches, and it's kind of been a lost art, but we've started to see some of these catchers, the coaches give them the opportunity to be able to call pitches and call the game and get a feel for it.
4th out in a row made by Kenzie Bridgewater at second base. That's 12 in a row now retired by Ellie Flanagan. That'll make way for Hadley Pearson. Grounded out to short back in the second. A lot of balls not getting squared up. here tonight. Not much barrel being used against Flanagan.
And she hasn't really given him anything really great to hit either. I mean, everything's been around, inside, outside, up and down. Not getting the big part of the plate.
Pearson, in her last game as a softball player, she'll head to Iowa State to study microbiologist. Hits it in the air, high to center to McMahon. But actually, it doesn't carry that far, and it's you-know-who, Kenzie Bridgewater.
Kenzie Bridgewater with the catch, strike number 2. That'll bring up left fielder, Ani Booger.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays in a row made by Kenzie Bridgewater, which is exactly what she did in the semifinal against Clarksville.
And 6 of the last 7 hitters have gone that way.
So what does that tell you when your second base person is fielding most of the...
Well, they're working the outside part of the plate. Hitters are late on the swing. They aren't getting around. So everything's going. They're letting the ball get a little too deep.
And really, Martensdale-St. Mary's, they've only hit 2 balls into the outfield. 1 back in the first and 1 in the third. That one's fouled away. Ani Berger, flied out to first. Sophomore here. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. Go the Blue Devils. Strikeout number 4 for Flanagan. She's yet to give up a hit through 5 innings. The highlights are pretty one-sided here, and it all started with a little bitty single, which then led to a home run or off the fence. A couple of defensive plays where couldn't get the out there, and the inning continued. Lynx scored twice in the first, and then there's this home run by Skylar Benish, and then the inning kept going. Lynx kept adding runs. They score 3 in the third on just a bang-bang play there. And then another play that was just the throw was off just a tiny bit. And then again, Skylar Benish. Skies one, second home run of the game. The junior has led this North Linn team to a 6-0 lead, and they bat here in the 6th. Lily Rayberg, Allie Christensen, and Skylar Benish. So we're going to get a chance to see Benish again bat this inning. Now the question is do you pitch to her?
Just depends on where she comes up, who's on.
Swing and a miss by Rayberg. And the competitor that German is, she is going to want an opportunity. Yeah, you got me twice. I want to get you that third time.
And you have to believe that she has that kind of fight in her, that kind of mentality, that she would like one more chance to maybe shut down Skylar Benish.
She has to deal with Lily Rayberg first, the 8th grader. So Lily Rayberg, everybody, just write that down. You'll probably see her at state again sometime. The 1-2 pitch is high. North Linn, just like in basketball, has been all about reloading. There's not much rebuilding that happens. 2-2 is punched into right for a base hit. Hard up with it and into second base, but it's a leadoff single for Lily Rayberg, her first hit of the game.
Another good piece of hitting by Rayberg. Just waited on it, and the ball was up in the zone, but she took it to right field. Starts off inning as the leadoff hitter on base.
Yes.
And they have been productive when they've been able to get those leadoff runners on.
Allie Christensen, the senior, digs in. She hasn't played softball since 9th grade.
Foul, foul.
Peyton McMahon said, hey, why don't you go out for softball? It's worked out for her so far.
Well, you had talked a little bit earlier about her and how she played soccer on the combined team, and she was a defender, but then she scored every goal except one during the season. So really made an impact on the team, the combined team. And she is a defender, but then she goes on to score every goal for that team.
More of a defensive swing by Christensen there on that pitch that came in. Just look at Campbell German. I mean, she just digs right in as soon as she gets that ball. She just wants to keep going. That pitch sails out of the zone.
You know, she's a quick worker, and so's Flanagan, and I think their teammates appreciate the fact that they get the ball back, they step right back on the rubber, and get right back to business.
Sky towards Hart, who grabs it and then goes down to both knees to retain her balance for the first out of the 6th.
She had to dig hard to get to that one and had to go down to the knees to pull that one in. And it might be a little bit of a tough sky. It's you know, kind of transitioning to the lights and the daylight to night, and so it might have been hard to pick up initially off the bat.
That'll bring in Skylar Benish. Oh, just 2 home runs tonight, 2 RBIs. Another 3-for-3 game. Change up hit to third. Fielded over to second to get the lead. No way you're going to get Benish at first. She hits into the fielder's choice, but erases. Rayberg is erased.
Good quick reaction by Pearson at third base, and immediately turned, set those feet to make that throw to second, to see if they could try to turn that double play, but they at least got that lead runner.
Kenzie Bridgewater, the defensive specialist, pops it up towards third. And that's collected by Pearson. And we go to do or die time for Martensdale-St. Mary's as they're down to their final 6 outs. They're going to need a lot of those. Find out if they can do it as we go to the bottom of the 6th from Harlan Rogers in Fort Dodge.
When Carlos Santana took the stage at the US Festival in 1982, the audience there that day had no idea they'd be seeing one of the most electrifying live performances of the era. It's Santana and his band at their finest.
Coming to Iowa PBS August 11th.
On The Great American Recipe, we are doing a recipe swap. Oh my God.
Aloha.
I'm trying to pay tribute to Kila's recipe, but I'm not sure how much Mexican he cooks at home.
I've never made this before.
We'll see how it turns out.
Come on.
Okay, I see what Leanne is trying to do here.
We are not playing with you today.
Monday evening at 8 on Iowa PBS.
Webster County can sure give us some pretty sunsets. We're on the north side of Fort Dodge as we look to the west at Harlan Rogers Complex. It's actually a little bit to the north and west of here. And Laura, the corn looks good. So do the beans.
That looked great driving up. Didn't it? All the fields look so good.
Friday night at 8, I think I'm supposed to talk about markets right now. Kaylee Finney up to bat for Martensdale-St. Mary's on the pinch hit. I only was asked a couple of times how the crops look this week by somebody at the complex. So that's the only reason I bring it up. 6-0 North Linn in control here in this 1A final in the bottom of the 6th. As the senior Finney getting a chance to hit her 5th at-bat of the year. Senior getting this experience to hit. Like the send somebody in to try to break it, but she's just like all the others. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, try to change some things up and see if you can shake something loose for your team, and you bring in a pinch hitter to try to get some things started. But Flanagan got her again with the rise ball, has been working so well for her. She threw it to the pinch hitter in Finney, and she swung right through it.
Emily Hughes now. Swings and misses. You know, she was frustrated there in that first pitch, but I think Flanagan has just frustrated everybody tonight. Good pitch, backs up right over the, just off the plate. Ryan Christner not pulling the trigger on that. Mike Christner at third and Terry Giaffretti at first tonight are umpires. The 1-2 is high, and I need to, at this moment, say there were a lot of umpires here this week. Some were on the field and some were in the stands. And as Kathy Creighton, Director of Officials and Umpires for the Girls Union, would say, we always need more. If you are interested in umpiring, there's a great way, and there is a huge need. A lot of youth tournaments, always in the need. So, high school, there's been varsity and JV games and junior high. There's always an opportunity if you want to wear and be a part of the game and just get some exercise. The 2-2 coming to Hughes.
You know, Jersey Payton behind the plate has done a really good job of catching Flanagan, and you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in the ball game. She is early in her career a second baseman, and late last season Flanagan needed to be warmed up, and coach said, hey, go warm her up. And so she grabbed the gear and went over and warmed her up, and he said, oh, I really liked what I saw. She's quick, she's got good hands, she can move well, and she was able to catch Flanagan. She was able to catch those high pitches and those low pitches. Things weren't ticking off of her glove, and she was able to do it. And so they just moved her into that position, and she's just settled in really nicely. Said it took a lot of work, a lot of things that had to go into it, but she really loves that position now. Would never go back to second base.
Her grandfather is longtime track coach Bob Mudd, and Coach Mudd and Coach Spoor had a conversation, coach to coach, and that's hit towards short. Benish across, faded hat and all, makes the play. And again, 1, 2, 3, go Martensdale-St. Mary's.
High hopper and Benish with the strong arm. Ends the inning.
North Linn in control as we go to the 7th, 6-0 Lynx.
I am acutely conscious of the fact that I am but one member of that vast army of hunger fighters, and so I want to share not only the present honors, but also the future obligations with all my companions in arms. For the Green Revolution has not yet been won.
Sunday at noon.
The Iowa State Fair is the biggest thing in Iowa.
Explore the history of Iowa's grand tradition.
60,000 Iowans can't be wrong.
From its earliest days to the statewide celebration of today.
People have put their heart and soul to make it the best state fair in the country.
On top of all that, it's just fun. It really is.
Join us for our great state fair.
Coming to Iowa PBS August 1st and 2nd.
What could be the final inning of the season. Top of the 7th. Ellie Flanagan digs in. Talked about the pitcher. We've talked about many other things with Flanagan. Sorry, I'm Paul Yeager. This is Laura Leonard. You had a chance to ask Ellie about what's on her arm. You can kind of see the patch there. She's a type 1 diabetic. And in the post game, she had her pump with her. And you asked, do you wear it in the games? And she says, no, it would get busted. But walk me through some of her precautions and
you can see that there's the patch, and she's got the pump that, and you can see her limping down to first base. They're going to get a runner in. I think that hurt her knee a little bit. As she got that swing, got jammed a little bit, muscled it out there, but really just limped down to first base.
She has snacks with her in her bag, and just in case that
in case she goes low, and so exercise can drop your blood sugar. You could go low, but they've got snacks, Gatorade. They've got glucose tabs. They've got whatever. They're all ready, and I think everybody's also educated in that dugout as well to understand what the signs and symptoms are to look for if she is going low, and they are able to manage that.
There's a look at Flanagan back in the dugout. Up to Jersey Payton here. Swings and misses. Sam West has entered the game as the courtesy runner. West with 3 stolen bases already. Let's see if she's running on 1-1. And she is. The throw down to second is in time to get her. Bears makes the throw, and the tag made there at second, 1 away.
Really good throw by Bears. I mean, she came up out of the crouch, threw right to a point at second base, and Brinley German comes right across and lays down the tag. She wasn't in the picture right away, but it was like a quarterback throwing to a receiver. You just throw to the area, and all of a sudden she's there to slap down that tag.
Almost all, it seems that is the way it's taught. Throw on that side of the bag, and it's not necessarily right at the pitcher, but to the right. Almost everybody throws there. So I assume that's what's been taught.
You throw to a spot, and you throw to, you throw right to the bag if you can. I mean, the runner is coming from that angle to the right side, so if you can throw that pit or that ball right down on the corner of the bag, so it makes it easy for whoever's taking that throw, usually shortstop, to put that tag right there on the sliding runner.
Strikeout number 6 for Campbell German as she gets Jersey Payton to go down, and it'll be Kylie Munson with a single, fielder's choice, and a strikeout in this game. Her 4th at-bat is a swinging pitch. Campbell German fields, throws, gets the out. And now 3 more outs for a state championship for North Linn. And 3 more outs for Martensdale. And Flanagan had a conversation with Coach Spoor right before she went into the circle. I don't know if it was checking the injury or just like, here you go. Opportunity.
Oh, when we talked to Coach Spoor, he said in that regional game where she did get hurt, she couldn't get the push off. She couldn't get a lot of her pitches to work. And so he said they just went fastball. They tried to jam the hitters with fastballs and make it really tough on them to try to get the barrel of the bat on any of her pitches, and might see that here in this half inning.
Final go for Martensdale-St. Mary's. Ellie Baker, Campbell German, Abby Hughes, otherwise known as 2, 3, and 4.
And Flanagan did not take a whole lot of warm-up pitches.
Baker to lead things off. Infield in. Baker offers it the first one.
You got the corners charging hard. Well, I will restate that. You have third base and Christensen charging hard. Bridgewater charging in.
Yeah.
As Munson is hanging back, but also pitcher has to come in and be able to cover that. Smart move. Try to bunt it right back to Flanagan because she's having a hard time moving around.
It goes to the third base side, and it goes into right field, and Ellie Baker is on first base. The last time Martensdale-St. Mary's had a base runner was all the way back in the first inning. And that is also the first hit. So the no-hitter is broken, and the stat that we would have said is ripped to shreds because I wrote down on a piece of paper to ask a question. First pitch to Campbell German is a strike.
I want to give credit out in right field. Hoover did a great job of backing up that throw, because otherwise that gets by and she could be standing on third.
Back up the middle, step on the bag for one, across to second, and blink. Bang, bang, play. So the hit is erased. Wow.
That was tailor-made, and Benish just covers the ground so quickly. That hit was targeted for center field. She got over there and picked it up quickly. I mean, was a half a step from second base, able to touch it and turn the double play.
So it's up to Abby Hughes. Swing and a miss. Just after 9 o'clock here tonight. On July the 21st, 2023. Been a beautiful week of weather and some pretty darn good softball. We are seeing a special performance right here in the circle. A one-hitter right now for Ellie Flanagan. Swing and a miss. And just like that, Martensdale-St. Mary's are down to their final strike here in the 7th. Flanagan readjusts the leg brace for dramatic effect to give us an opportunity to say she has played through injury in this tournament. And it is obvious. The 0-2 changeup.
There's that changeup that we saw the other night that just was a knee buckler. Couldn't get it across there.
The pitch is high. The Lynx, they beat Sigourney. They beat Clarksville. And they were near, if you ask the North Linn fans, nearly winners there.
Everybody thought that was strike 3 and didn't get the call. Peyton turns around and asks where it was. They said up.
And it's ball 4. So Hughes goes down to first.
Time.
Looks like we're going to have a runner. We are, and it is going to be Carson Oberender, the freshman. As these teams have sisters, cousins, they're all related usually. Lots of them on the team, which makes it fun too. Sometimes high school's the first time they've had a chance to play on the same field because they've been on other teams for their youth years.
It is certainly a family affair, softball is.
The pitch is a strike to Sydney Bears. The 0-1 hit towards Mackenzie Bridgewater, who catches it for the final out for the second time. And the third title in 5 years, North Linn, your champion in Class 1A.
Well, and how fitting was that Bridgewater gets that final out. She played so well defensively all game long, was right there on the right side of the field. And at one point, what did she have, 7 of 8 hitters that came her way? I can't remember. She was just fielding everything over there. And what a tremendous asset to have on your team, backing you up as your pitcher. You turn around and you know you have a pretty solid defense behind you.
There's a look as the two teams exchange pleasantries after the game.
You know, this Martensdale-St. Mary's team, they're young. They've got a lot of players coming back. They've got a good group to build on, and they are going to be a team that is going to be very tough next season because they do not lose a lot of this lineup. They are going to be pretty much intact and ready to make that trek back up here.
Yep, there's 3 teams in 1A that really have a lot coming back, and 2 of them wear the maroon color. Clarksville and North Linn and Martensdale-St. Mary's. So we'll just keep their notes for next year.
Yeah.
Sort them out because there's a good chance we're going to see these teams again.
Greet your teams on the field.
As the pink shirts are handed out and the hugs are happening, we'll get ready for the all-tournament team and the trophy presentation here in Fort Dodge.
Attention to the infield for the award ceremony. Presenting the Class 1A all-tournament team medals is Farm Bureau Representative Andy Hill. And now, here is your Class 1A all-tournament team for 2023. From North Linn, Skylar Benish. From Martensdale-St. Mary's, Ellie Baker. From Clarksville, Kaylin Hardy. From Wayne, Izzy Moore. From Clarksville, Rachel Borchert. From Wayne, Devin Davis. From North Linn, Jersey Payton. From Martensdale-St. Mary's, Sydney Bears. From North Linn, Mackenzie Bridgewater. From Martensdale-St. Mary's, Campbell German. And your 2023 Class 1A All-Tournament Team Captain, from North Linn, Ellie Flanagan.
She's injured in a regional semifinal, does not play in the regional final, goes through therapy almost every day for several days to gut it out in this tournament. No hits in the first 2 games until tonight. She came up huge in the circle, and the bat didn't hurt her case either for all-tournament captain.
No, not at all, and she came through tonight with the bat and then had that no-hitter going into the 7th inning and gave up just the 1 hit here in this championship game, and that is pretty impressive. And we saw her go down that first base line after that last hit. She was limping pretty badly, and but gutted it out, got back in the circle, got the final 3 outs to win the championship.
There's a look at your all-tournament team. Congratulations to all of them. And we will see some of those players play on. I mean, we get to see Skylar Benish play again next year, Kenzie Bridgewater, and then the Germans. I mean, there's some talent that we still get to see. So watch this game tonight, write some names down, and keep an eye on them next year so you're all caught up to date.
Yeah, it's certainly we're going to see both of these teams back, as well as a couple others that you had mentioned. And this 1A class is pretty fun to watch. There's some good softball being played at 1A.
IGHSAU Board of Directors, Travis Fleshner, Ron Fodness, and Jim Beamer. Congratulations to the runners-up in Class 1A, head coach Emily Wood and the Martensdale-St. Mary's Blue Devils on an outstanding 2023 softball season. And now, North Linn, please complete your bracket. And presenting your 2023 Class 1A State Softball Champions, head coach Chad Sporer and the Lynx of North Linn.
Once North Linn broke through, it's become a powerhouse. North Linn, your champion tonight in 1A, and that completes our triple header coverage today. Our 2 games yesterday as Ellie Flanagan puts that trophy in the air, and she's now like her sisters. In fact, she's 1 better.
Yeah.
She has 3.
Yeah, what a performance. Yep. And we talked about it all week long. They had not scored runs. They hadn't given her run support, but they had been just good enough to advance. And tonight they came out, they scored a lot of runs. They got those runs, and they gave her the support, and then she came through in the circle.
Centennial, your 5A champ. Back-to-back titles for Winterset and Regina, who won 2A. Williamsburg, your champion in 3A. And North Linn, your champ for everyone here at Iowa PBS. For Lauren Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your summer. We'll see you in the fall. Thank you for watching. So long from Fort Dodge.
Funding provided by Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialist, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
The Pella Rolscreen Foundation is a proud supporter of Iowa PBS. Pella Windows and Doors strives to better our communities and build a better tomorrow.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.